myself and you don't produce anything. We all depend on imported items. Now, the more we keep exchanging our local currency to foreign currency, then we have this foreign exchange volatility. Now, which means there's going to be a shortage of the foreign exchange inflow. As such, your inflation will keep skyrocketing. So, then the third one will come to insecurity. The insecurity in business is uncertainty. You invested 1 million naira, you will be sleeping and you wake up the following day, you say, this money is gone. So, then it keeps imposing a greater challenge on inflation. But the good news here is, if we are able to have an insight mindset of producing, what drives any economy is SME, small medium enterprises. The ability of having a local made product, that is the vision. That is what will stop inflation. But the more me and you still keep patronizing overseas imported items whatsoever, we won't have this, we won't have stability. So these are areas where businesses have their own challenges and where it has to key into the economy. Another one is this. This is targeting what opportunities are available around us. What are the opportunities? When we're talking about opportunities that we have, today it is digital economy. Then renewable energy. You could see the government is navigating about CNG. Because when you use a CNG, it gives two things. It's cheaper and it's safer. It gives an healthy life living and it's cheaper. Then the third one is agro, which is agribusiness, farming. These three are the future of this country. The future of this country, the future of the global phenomenon. This three is the future. If we understand, we could understand that AI is taking a large scale, which is artificial intelligence, which is eventually going to replace human intervention in a very short while. That is the reason why I keep telling people, if you are not IT inclined, like me, you'll be shocked, and I'll tell you for free, I'm in my stage 3 of coding. I'm already learning coding, I'm already in stage 3. Because I understand the future. And I know where this country is going and where globally we are going to approach. So I'm imploring you, you need to start navigating into that direction. Like try to learn about cyber security, try to learn about coding. Very, very key. A time will come where human intervention will not be required. People will employ. I'm thinking in the next future, very, very soon, I might be hoping a studio that is an AI intelligence that will not have an human intervention. In HR today, we started deploying a lot of softwares that are human intervention. There's a software today that can do a sorting or a pool of a CV of a 5,000 within 10 minutes. That can do a sorting of CVs within 10 minutes. I just need to give the command. Once I give the command, I upload the entire CVs on it. It do the selection to me. It even do me a tick on each candidate that is selected as per my remark. Now, can you imagine how many employees that I have saved that organization? For me to have like 3 HR officers, HR executives, I don't need them. I don't need them. Before now, I was having a team in my company where I work. I was having a team of 41 across Nigeria. Today, with the help of AI, I've been able to streamline everyone to 25. And I'm still going further down. My target is to have it to make it 12. So we need to understand where this digital economy is actually going. So it is good that we are still very vibrant, we are youth, we are very, very knowledgeable, but we need to see ahead of the future and to understand that there are some certain things that is not going to be the same way. Government policies and initiatives. Now, when we talk about government policies, government have no business in business. Government have no business in business. The duty of an effective government is to implement policies. The policies that drives visions. But when government is doing businesses, you will end up seeing a lot of politics. Why have Lagos succeeded? Lagos has succeeded simply because Lagos is not operating Lagos as a government zone. They are operating Lagos as a firm. Lagos is run as an organization. How do I mean? I will explain. Ministry of Environment is a ministry. A case study. Case study. Ministry of Environment have agencies under them. Ministry of Environment has LASEPA. LASEPA is in line of where people like us that are consultant in environmental matters will report to. In line of that, Lagos state government has given LASEPA a target, a monthly target, to generate revenue, which will be remitted to the Ministry of Environment. The LASEPA as an agency has a PAMSEC or a director or a GM whatsoever, whereby the PAMSEC, the director, a GM, is to understand and carry the shoulder responsibility of that agency. Because if the Ministry of Environment is also doing the regulations of the agencies, there's going to be clash. The revenue at which the Ministry of Environment is expected to get, they won't get that revenue. But because they actually have a local agencies that is in charge of regulatory, to come to your company to understand why is this place like this, why is your noise level, why is your pollution, they are the ones that goes up and down. Why is there noise and things? They give you abatement notice, which is like a fine. So Lagos State understand the essence of governance, and they are operating the government as an organization, not as a government parastatals or whatsoever, which that is similar approach the federal government at the federal level is trying to adopt. In the federal level at FIRS has opened more than 4 agencies now, whereby those agencies have been tapped into series of sectors to monitor compliances as regards their revenue. So the business of government is to introduce policies that support businesses, that support growth of businesses, that advance strategies or implementation on growth for each businesses. Then on this keynote, it's innovations and technology. This still work with this. When we're talking about innovation, innovation in a layman is an idea. Ability to think outside the box, to see, okay, I'm in a dark zone. I need to lighten up this dark zone. As a layman, that is innovation. You are in a black shell, and the black shell, you need to illuminate it. That is innovation, which gives a clearer vision on your mindset, your ideas, and how do you target all in technology. Next slide, please. Who can tell me the meaning of this? This is called compass. This is very key when we are trying to make a decision, because this is what will give you how to navigate, to know your direction. If you put your compass on your phone, it gives you north, south, west, east. And if you are going into, if I'm going into a more deeper way, there's what we call, if we do researches, there's what we call wastologists. The people that do wastos, they are mostly found in Asian countries. They are mostly found in India, Portugal. Mommy might know people that do most of those wastos, whereby they'll come into this room and put in their compass, whereby their compass to direct them where should they place that TV, where should they put the door, where should their bed face, because there's a component that drives south, north, east, and west. So when you're trying to do a core component of business, you need to understand your level of compass. In today, Lagos is the smallest zone, but Lagos is the biggest in line of the economy. But guess what? For people that understand the navigating businesses, it is ideal to set up your business in Ibadan. When you are doing what is called trading and distributorship. The reason why is like that, if you set your business in somewhere like Ibadan, Ibadan gives you an easy access to channel on distribution, because Ibadan is sitting on a center between the Lagos as well as the other south zone. That is where these come to play when you are doing businesses and trying to look at, okay, where fits me, where is my zone, and how does it really work. I was doing a research for a company. The company is trying to come into Nigeria to start tire production, manufacturing. And they're looking at getting a concession from Lagos State on plantation, where to get rubber. So we spoke with some government agencies. Then upon that, we are now trying to determine which location is the best location to situate that business. Then after we did all our researches, we realized the best zone to center that business is at Ogbomoso. Why have we choose Ogbomoso? We choose Ogbomoso because in line of we getting our raw materials is majorly going to be from the rubber zone, which is Ondo, Ekiti, Akure, Oyo, and stuff like that. None of them is available in Lagos. So we did the study and we understand that the best thing is to situate it at this. And in line of the business component, it is actually raw for you to invest your raw capital into a fixed asset. What does that mean by fixed assets? You want to start a business today, your total investment cost is running to about $10 billion. Then you are looking at putting 50% of that $10 billion into a fixed asset. Fixed asset is house, for a case study, an example. You've actually killed the business from start, because the fixed asset is not going to bring you any proceeds immediately. So it is rather for you to go on a rent or a long lease, whereby you still have a lot of money to navigate into your business properly. So you need to understand, how do I channel the cost of my business? How do I position it? That is where the compact dimensions comes to play. I'll give a case study for we around here. Maybe you want to learn a dry cleaning company. A dry cleaning company is actually not a best zone of business where you can set up in a place where you don't have a consistent power. It's one of the components that will actually kill the business. And who are your target audience? Your target audience are really the core people that are the white collar jobs, the people that do 8 to 5, because they have no much time to actually have time to do their cleaning. So the best place is for you to suit that kind of a business is to suit it around the work environment. A work environment where companies have. Why? Because it is easier for them while leaving their house in the morning. They come along with their clothes to get laundry and they drop it for you. That is how to just position yourself in line of compacts. Next slide, please. I think I'm a bit forward because I'm still getting into the other aspects. This is what I mentioned earlier, which about the market diversification, expanding into new markets or customers or segments. Now, the business we are doing, there's every business that has a maximum peak period. If I give a case study, you start a business and your business has grown up to a very high level, whereby you start seeing that you've grown to the extent of stability. It is very key. One of the fear is the business can crash, because if you don't start looking at how do I diversify this business at this stage, then there's problem. So you either don't wait until you get so grown up. I have so many businesses that have registered ideas that have not even started using them. So in line of every businesses we are doing, we need to also understand that there's a maturity level at the business they will reach, whereby the only thing is the business cannot grow beyond that level. I came out of the water line business because I already saw the failure in the water factory. I was telling my time when I was operating Aquaterra water, I saw the vision and I knew that this business is going to crash in a very short while. Then the best thing I quickly do was to quickly take out my funds and put it somewhere else, because I saw the vision that this business, you are smiling, I saw the vision that this business has a very short lifespan, because the way things are going, Lagos State binding nylon, I've seen it very long time before now. Some of us are not adapting to CNG today, but I can tell you very soon, before the end of next year, you see a lot of electric vehicles that will be piling the whole of Lagos. Because in Kebbi, there's a factory going on now that is into battery production, where the company is going to generate battery because we have the law and the natural component for battery in Nigeria, and which is deposited in the north. Imagine the great level at which solar energy, inverter deployment will spring up. Many of us will forget about NEPA. It's getting slowly into that. But how do we start thinking in that direction? This is where we start looking at diversification. For every businesses we are doing, there is a period. Once you are the owner of the business, once you've seen the business has grown up to a particular stage, start diversifying, start pulling out the funds out. I was consulting for somebody, he's a Chinese guy, he wanted to go into importation of fish, cold store fish. And I told him, based on my understanding with the blue marine economy, I told him, I said, that industry does not have a very long time. So many people have done that business and they've made a lot of fortune by importing croaker fish, whatsoever. But if you look at in the foreign climate, they don't eat those fish because those fish are actually not good for consumption. So it's actually not good. If they've kept it in the cold room for a longer period of time, it's actually not good for consumption. But because our local consumption are not being refined and it's not being understood, there's so many people that can actually venture into that business. But because we are not understanding how to navigate into that, I told him, I said, doing that business is not the best business for now because you will invest $2 billion. And I can tell you another policy might come. There's no current government that will put his economy of the citizen on imported food. No reasonable government would end up his citizen to end up having a consumption of daily food eats on importation. It is, do you know how many effects that is going through that? So I told him, he said, I think you are very right, because it's a short-time business. You could make a lot of money, but if you want to do it, fine, but the future is not there. Whoever thought that they are going to bound rice today in Nigeria? Nobody. So we need to start thinking outside the box. Now, the other one, you also understand how to develop new products or services to meet your needs and whatsoever. So in line of you doing any business, you need to understand what are the needs, what are the change. There was a time Boku bread came out. A lot of people keep eating Boku bread. But the very first day I ate it, I said, this is disaster. Because it was too sugary, but it was good for them that they quickly understand and they were able to quickly adjust. But if they have gone into that, I think that business would have closed down by now. That means that tells you that they get feedback. They get communication. They get feedback from the people that are actually consuming their products. So we need to understand how to understand what are the things, services that is actually required by people. I think I've also discussed about digital transformations and every other things. You need to also understand how to build strong partnership when you are doing business. How do you build strong partnership? You could want to go into farming. It's not compulsory you going into farming for you to be a farmer. You can actually incorporate yourself and partner with some existing farmers. And you get your ROI, return on investment, from them. So you need to understand that there's so many things that you can actually do. That I have somebody in Lagos here is running, is big now, is running a dry cleaning company. And the way he runs that business is he does not have washing machine. He does not have washing machine. So what he does is he has series of outlets at strategic places. Ikoyi, Lekki, VI, Banana Island and stuff like that. So he has it as a pull point for depot. They drop in the clothes. Upon dropping it, the guy now partner with some dry cleaners for washing and ironing. You can see the smart way of working. He partner with some guys for washing and dry cleaning. Guess what? The guy is easing in stress and making money. He gives a long time of pool. He introduced a lot of incentives whereby most of his customers brings volumes. He has so many plans in his services. You drop in 100 clothes, you take so money because he's not investing any of his money into infrastructure. He's not buying petrol, he's not buying whatsoever. So then he now have channels of distribution whereby he bought some buses and put them at each strategic places. Once the cloth has been ready, maybe from one dry cleaner, they pick it up and drop it back at the depot where the cloth is to be picked up. Then the guy is still working actively. He works in Orlando and he's doing excellently well. And the business is doing fantastic. He's not putting any his own personal way, looking at no. So there are so many things we can do as a business owner in line of we partnering, having a strong partnership with some people. I partner with some poultries whereby I don't have a farm, but I give them funds every three months. They trade with my money, then I get my funds back from them. They even got sometimes, they even always approach me like, do I have whatsoever? I said, I have. I'll give you at 6%, I'll give you at 4%, I'll give you at 5%. So there are so many things we can do without we being physically present, but we just have to look at the strong partnership that we are actually doing. Next slide, please. This is a tip in line of business that we need to understand, and it is important we just note it down. I don't know if the organizers of this will actually share this thing to everybody. And it's giving a direct indication of questions to ask yourself. Because this thing is actually blurring the light there. It's fine, sit down. So it gives you the business tips for you to understand in line of every businesses you need to do. And the questions that you need to ask yourself when venturing into businesses. I think I'm taking much of our time. Let's go to career now. We are repositioning for career now. The essence, come back please. I want to talk about this image here. During my introduction, I mentioned something about growth. In career is to burst an hidden potential. Because there's something that is in you in line of career. So that was the reason why I've used an illustration that gives a dimension of climbing a ladder. The career begins at the stage when you start going to school from primary one, which navigates you into a greater purpose for you to be meaningful to yourself, to unboss the hidden talents in you. So you keep growing from that stage to that stage to that stage to unboss the initiative, the ideas, the innovations that is in you. That is what this illustration is actually telling us. Next slide. In the course of career growth, we need to understand these key principles. Skill development. As a career person, you can attain goals if you are not acquiring more knowledge. Now you need to acquire more knowledge, more skills that is relevant to the current market. If you call yourself a fashion designer and you are still in the era of using butterfly sewing machine, you've actually not understand how to navigate yourself into a tiny stretch of stitching. Because the situation in monogram, people that are in the fashion world now, it is back then in the olden days that you see malams doing whatsoever designs on your clothes, on your fabric. But today, the monogram machine is there that can actually give you whatsoever design. You put it on a computer and it replicates it on the fabric. So that is the current market we are talking about. So you need to position yourself with open minds, new skills to develop yourself for a new ideas that is acceptable to the current market. Yeah. For we that are in the industries of career goals, maybe working as a banker, whatsoever industries we find ourselves, we need to see how to position ourselves in exploring new careers that are